can he take off?
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Go ahead, Mike.
Me?
Yeah,
Okay.
you.
So spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map, it's the blue Terran player. It's Axiom's Heart. Yeah! I'm so bad at introductions.
More energy, Mike.
Okay. And spawning in the bottom corner of the map, it's the Zerg player. He flew here from Taiwan, not to lose, but to bring this back and maybe show Greetorp that he will not lose now. His name, it's Sen from Team Gamania.
I appreciate your troll inside of the introductions, Mike.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Sen is down 1-0. Again, if he loses another game, he is eliminated from the round of 16. But we're, of course, hoping that doesn't happen. I at least want a game number 3. Winner of this series will go on to play against Tasia, and that series will determine who goes into the round of 8. Looks like a very, very safe play coming out from Hart. He's going for the Reaper opening. Now, the reason why I say it's a very... No, I'm sorry. No, it is Reaper opening. The reason why I have to say it's very safe is because it's a 4-player map. A lot of times it's hard to do any early game aggression. I mean, we saw that with the Jaedong vs. Tasia series, or Jaedong vs. Tasia game. Even with the 10 pool, it's almost impossible to do damage against an opponent. So for him to go Reapers, it's just like, well, he's giving up a fast command center.
Yeah. But I think this is still a good opening. You can deny the creep a little better than if you're playing a command center first build. So it has its advantages. And it looked like last game, he showed that he's confident in the mid-late game scenario. So if he can open with a safer build, then I mean, maybe that's better for him.
Definitely so. We'll keep an eye on that, of course. And both players will be able to scout each other first. The Overlord able to get in there and see exactly what his opponent has. And even see the Reaper that's passing by. The SCV getting in and seeing the gas timing to see when metabolic boost is capable of being finished. Whirlwind, as we've been talking about, normally goes to a macro map. We've seen these exact same positions, though, TVZ. And I do feel like this is a situation where Terran has the... I want to say the slightly better engagements going into mid-game because of the push where Terran can go into and drill into this position, attacking the 3rd and 4th base.
Mm-hmm.
And Zerg, I feel like a lot of cross-map attacks don't work out nearly as well for them.
Yeah, I think Terran in these positions has maybe a slight advantage, but I think on this map it's still a good map for the Zerg player. Even in bad positions, it's still better than some other maps, I think. I think most Zergs would rather play in these spawns in this map than on, like, Yansu, for example.
Oh, sure. That makes sense. Again, doing this little cheeky build. And the Reaper almost goes down here. Zerglings are not going to be committed. I'm actually surprised they're not. There they are. But he's not targeting down the SEV, just going for the bunker. And because of that, he will not take down any of these units. Sen just going to have to back up here and creep spread normally. So again, we're seeing the same thing. And whoa! Oh no, never mind. Just a regular switch off. I thought... never mind. Sen's still mining gas, though.
Yeah, and Hart, on the other hand, he's going for a Banshee opening after the Hellions. I'd actually like to see him commit a lot to this Hellion Banshee. We don't see that often these days. I wish we can see maybe a 10 Hellion, 2 to 3 Banshee build.
Why would you like to see that? Like,
I think it's very good.
Like the Apocalypse type of all-in, or not an all-in? Just pressure.
Just pressure. It's the only build it's kind of bad against, I think, is a fast Mutalist build. But that's so uncommon these days that I think it could work out well for him.
But what about, like, you've seen so many roaches from Sen? Is that like, getting so many Hellions, isn't that a little bit scary? I guess the fact that he only gets 5, you can kind of punish that still, right?
Yeah, like if you have 10 Hellions and 2 to 3 Banshees, you can deal with 5 roaches. You can just take them out easily with this Hellion Banshee.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, Speed is done with the Overlord, so he'll be able to get in there and see exactly what's going on. There's even an Overlord already circling the main. And he says, okay, it's Banshees. There's only one gas, so I should know that it's not going to be Cloak Banshees. I can prepare accordingly.
He shouldn't have stuck around so long with his 2 Reapers either. I feel like he should have moved them back before the link speed was done, because there's no need to lose them like that. I feel like the bunker, I mean, I don't feel like that paid off at all for him. He lost both the Reapers and the bunker, and what did he accomplish with it? He didn't even delay the 3rd with it.
No, he didn't delay the 3rd. Creep spread is...
It still looks about as good as it would have
yeah,
anyway.
I mean, it's pretty standard because normally it stagnates as soon as Hellions pop out. So this is the type of creep spread you kind of expect. And even that isn't getting shut down.
I do like his Viking though. I think the Viking is what he wants to do against Sen. It always will get at least 2 to 3 Overlord kills, and it helps set up the drops in the mid game. And we saw last game, although that first medevac drop didn't kill too much, it did some damage, and it wouldn't have done any if it didn't clear the Overlord.
Sure. Oh, Queen almost goes down, but a good transfuse will save that. Queens need to be careful because if they go down here, there's no anti-air defense. Of course, against that Banshee, it's very important. Oh, he's going to lose the first one. Really unfortunate. Transfuse is a pretty healthy Queen directly after that, but the Banshee itself goes down. So some nice trades, I think, overall for Sen. A Queen for a Banshee works out really well. The high Hellion count is there. Only 8, though, not the 10 that you were talking about. But still pretty nice size.
Yeah, 8 is still incredibly good against Zerglings. If you only have 6, then it's kind of risky to even step on creep because they can just go for it, surround you, and take them out. But with 8, he shouldn't lose these Hellions to Zerglings unless he makes a mistake.
And 6 is normally like the standard number that we see.
Yeah.
Like that's always the macro number, right? And that's the bare minimum to defend against all-ins.
Yeah,
and also have a little map presence.
You should pretty much never make less than 6, I think it's fair to say. And you can go 8 to 10 and just play a safe macro game, and that's not overcommitting to Hellions at all either.
Not true.
Usually, though, I think 6 to 8 is about as many as you're going to make, unless you're making more Banshees. Because Sen often goes for like 5 to 6 roaches. So you either want to commit enough to kill those roaches, or not commit much at all.
Zergling's surround is attempted here, but gets shut down pretty easily. Now, this is the phase of the game where I think Sen is the weakest. We've seen him just die to these medevac attacks and also to just non-medevac attacks, honestly, just straight up Marine Hellions. Will Sen build enough units, though, this time around? That's the big question. We're going to find out. As Hart has moved and stepped onto the map, he has a good amount of Marines, and of course the Hellions are still pretty plentiful. Still all 8 from the beginning stages. It looks like he's going for the 3rd base, and look how saturated his bases are. Income tab, it's 85 Harvesters. That's an incredible amount. So it is all units from here on out, but I don't know if Sen can actually fend this off. Centrifugal Hook's almost finished. Oh my goodness. He just needs a couple more seconds.
I think he has it. He can just kind of sit back. This is on creep
15
too,
seconds, yeah.
So it shouldn't be too much trouble. And he has a lot more link to man as well.
Well, an attack going into the 4th base now. Marines able to put it down to just about half life so far. The reaction is there. Is it going to be in time, though? As there is an attack also at the 3rd base. It's a drop, and this can do a lot of damage, but Baneling's here to the rescue. A big pickup,
but now
and everything's okay. Zerglings will be able to kill some of the Marines that just trickle on down from those medevacs. It looks like no damage will be done over here, but the 4th base yet again is under attack. Will he be able to shut this down? It looks like yes, he will. Sen cleans up everything inside of that drop, and it looks like he'll stabilize on 4 bases finally.
Yeah, but in the meantime, Hart isn't committing that much to this. He's macroed up. His 3rd base is pretty much fully saturated now, and he has 5 barracks, double eBay, armory up. He's in a pretty good position as well.
And it looks like Hart is going for the 4th base. Of course, it is the weakest one, and there's the least amount of creep, but is it just too much at this point? And it looks like it's going to be that way as Bailey just crashed on through. Not enough AoE for the Terran player as all the Marines and Hellions just get cleaned up so fast. A great initiation, a great fight for Sen as he's just looking so healthy now. There is an attack in the 3rd base that can actually equalize things a little bit better, but all the units are coming back for Sen, and he should be able to clean this up pretty easily. Income tab showing 76 Harvesters. Oh no. He's still very healthy.
And Hart, I mean, he hasn't taken that much losses yet either. Although he did have to back up, And he didn't take any good engagements. He didn't take any bad engagements either.
Well,
so I think he's still in an okay position.
I think he's like heavily losing now. Something I didn't mention is the 2-2 timings. Like 2-2 is just like almost a third of the way done. 2-2 is finished for Sen. So any engagements that happen, it's gonna be heavily skewed in favor of Sen.
I guess he still does. I mean, his biggest advantage would be that the creep isn't that advanced yet.
Yes,
and that the
that's
fourth
true.
base position from Sen is also going to be easier to push in mid-late game than other fourth base positions. But upgrade-wise and in terms of army composition, I think Sen definitely has the lead.
Yeah, and this is just looking devastating. Sen getting ready for another attack here. But again, missing out. The third base is going to be under attack, and meanwhile, another drop is prepared to go to the main base. Zerglings will be defending over here, along with the Muta, the entire army, actually. And this is actually kind of nice timing for Hart to buy a little bit of time, right? Like, he is successfully giving him a chance to get up to 2-2 and then equalize the upgrades.
I think Hart still has a chance if he can get a nice timing push going with that 2-2 before Sen gets the Ultralisk and his 3-3 out.
Yeah.
Because the fourth base position from Sen will be fairly easy to push.
Well, he could lose everything right now as the Banelings are able to get beautiful connections on all the Widow Mines, and there's no AoE left. And there were even Banelings coming in from the other side. But these units being up inside these medevacs basically means they're Muta fodder. I mean, they're going to go down so fast. Even when they drop down here, the Zerglings are just going to circle around.
Yeah, I think all these units are going to be taken out, but they should be able to trade a little bit at least. Because it's about 4 or 5 medevacs of units, they're not going to die as badly as 1 or 2 medevacs.
The medevacs, wow, I'm actually surprised they were able to get out
They'll
here.
get chased down though, I think.
Oh, and it looks like, again, another engagement is going to be thwarted. 3-3 on the way for the Zerg player. Baneling's going to be made.
Sen's been splitting up his units very nicely this whole game. On each side of the map, he always has the units where they need to be.
Oh, getting shut down yet again. Hart, I mean, he's going up against the macro of Sen, and you said it perfectly. I mean, Sen just needs to elevate his play across the board, and he's doing that right now. As you said, just having the perfect amount of units in all locations, and he's able to shut down any type of aggression that Hart puts out here. Fifth base now being taken, as a fourth base taken for Hart will be shut down. Even with Marines here, there's just too many mutas. And that is a big difference. 26 mutas compared to the normal, like, 12 that we see in the regular games. Or in Sen's regular games, rather. Mutas will be cleaning up all the Marines, not something that you normally see, but also taking out the medevacs. And let's take a look at the medevac count, too. He has 2 medevacs out in the field. It's not that much. And one of those medevacs are actually trying to be aggressive. There it is, GG. I mean, Sen took